well, first it's to communicate well. So just be honest. Like if you can't do something, say you can't do something, but usually try to have like an alternative option. Like, can I do this? I can't do this, but I can do this. Or instead of this, I recommend this, because it's just kind of shifting more towards like what would fit into your path. And I think when we say communicate, it's not just communicating, I can't do this and I can't do this. Know what you can do, and kind of anticipate what they're looking for. Know the common questions that they would ask you as a designer, and already kind of lead with that. Like ask for colors, ask for style. If they have a sort of inspiration logo for logos, but even for weddings, if they have a Pinterest board, so that you can kind of already see the style they're going for, so you can already adjust yourself and ask the right questions, and
you
already
definitely have to
steer
lead
them. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can say no, and also like if this doesn't fit in with your time, this doesn't fit with if the budget is totally out of the, let's say they're like, oh, I have $50 for a logo. So you kind of have to just guide them towards like, this is kind of the normal realm, or like, well, you know, usually a logo includes this and this, or this typically this many hours. So we're looking around this much rather than $50. And maybe they'll say, okay, so you don't have to just say no right from the beginning, like, oh, this person's going to give me $50. Or you don't have to say, yes, I'll take your $50.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, I like too that the article mentions like the 4 methods, I guess, or like options when saying no. And it talks more just from the standpoint of an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs say yes to everything. But it says to be honest. And I feel like we talked about that in terms of just being transparent with the client that you're dealing with, and just like showing them the timeline and just like giving them more information. Offering alternatives, which I think is nice too. I feel like when I had the design issue, I offered like 2 or 3 designs after that matched what she wanted, but that way I could kind of find like a middle ground between what I had done and what she wanted. And I think they like that, because that's part of the collaboration of it. And then asking for clarification, obviously, and then laying out the expectations and kind of just setting those boundaries and a timeline and whatever's needed to make sure you can get to the finish line.
Right.
And stay sane.
Yeah. It's
difficult.
It's definitely difficult. And I feel like I'm still obviously learning this. I definitely got a lot better when I was dealing with people at the hotel, which I do want to note that when you work for someone, rather than being an entrepreneur, small business owner, freelancer, whatever, it is different, because you learn the answers, but the crutch is you are almost a third party. There's a third party in between you, and there's a buffer. The hotel is in between you and the client. So you can not be like, oh, well, this is a hotel's policies, but you can almost be like, you can almost more confidently say things, because it's not you
directly.
And that's something I feel like I need to get used to also, like with my shop, is that my shop is not me. And it's so easy to want to say yes, because you're just like, oh, well, I don't want my shop to look bad. But I honestly think sometimes it might look worse because I'm rushing to do it. Or so
yeah, that's a very good point.
Anyway,